It is your boy Mad Max, and in today's video I'll be talking about dating and meeting people while living with muscular dystrophy and any physical disability. So I'm going to break down 5 key points on how to play the field while living with a physical disability. And by the end of this video, it will be crystal clear as to what you need to get done in order to have a successful dating and love life. So, my first point, owning your disability. There's nothing more attractive than being confident, and I'll talk about that later in this video. But for starters, being self-deprecating, making fun of yourself, is a really great place to start. Obviously, some people might be uncomfortable with you bringing it up right away. See how they feel, see whether they have the same kind of humor as you. But the odds are, being able to make fun of yourself is a real step up. Self-deprecating humor is something that not only I use when I go out on dates, but when I'm hanging out with friends or just meeting people I haven't even met before. It's great in any sort of situation to be able to laugh about yourself. And it really breaks the tension knowing that you're the kind of person that's not afraid to make fun of their own disability. For an example, in my life, people might find this kind of crazy, but a lot of my friends, we have this ongoing joke where they call me the cripple. And some people might find that uncomfortable. I remember my friends saying that they referred to me that way in mixed company when I wasn't there, and people kind of looked at them a funny way. But it's an ongoing joke, and being able to own it is one of the sexiest, most attractive things you can do when dating. Piggybacking off of this point, my second point is being confident. Obviously, part of being confident is owning your disability, but being confident in any way. Have sort of a swagger, an air about you where things are under control, you're laid back, you're cool. Being attractive, part of it, well, most of it is being confident. Being confident, joking, going for it, being fun. That's what anyone wants, whether you're going on a date or whether you're hanging out with someone. Being fun is just a great way to be. No one wants someone that's a downer, that feels sorry for themselves, that has any of these thoughts about them where they're not good enough or they're insecure. Even though, sure, there are a lot of things to be upset about if you're in a wheelchair, if you're disabled. But no one wants to deal with that, unfortunately. Sure, maybe you could bring it up at some point, but please just be fun, be humorous, be light, and you'll be very successful when meeting and dating people. Moving on to my third point, just going for it and shooting your shot. Obviously, this is such standard advice, and whether you're disabled or not disabled, this applies to you, especially like me, if you're a guy that approaches women, just going for it, being confident, and shooting your shot. Maybe it'll land, maybe it won't, but it doesn't matter. You put yourself out there, and that is something to be very proud of. A lot of people are very scared to put themselves out there, especially living with a disability. But like a lot of things, dating, relationships, socializing, it applies universally whether you're disabled or not. I mean, how many people have actually experienced a dude in a wheelchair coming up to them, flirting, asking for their number? I mean, you would really stand out in a crowd. Just doing that without a disability, you stand out. But again, it goes back to being confident in who you are, just owning your disability, not being insecure, and going for it. A very cliche quote that I'm going to quote here is, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take," by Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott. But in all seriousness, that is true in anything. You have to put yourself out there. It might be uncomfortable, you might be nervous, but with anything, putting yourself out there, being brave, being bold. Obviously, a lot of people could be drilling this into your skull, but just go for it. Shoot your shot. Do not be afraid. Worst comes to worst, you are right where you started. And there's nothing wrong with that. You did it. please just be proud of yourself that you're bold enough to do that. Moving on to my fourth point, it takes practice. Like anything, talking to people, asking women out, doing all these sorts of things, it really takes practice, whether you're disabled or not. So just go out there, talk to people, treat people the same, whether the woman that you're talking to is attractive, whether they're not, it doesn't matter. Just keep talking. You'll get good at being playful, being flirty, doing all these sorts of things that you need to do while going out in the field. And look, you're talking to someone that had really serious social anxiety, talking to women, just making eye contact with girls in my class. I was so nervous. And through practice, it doesn't deter me. I'm not nervous anymore. I'm confident. And I hope that's what you can take away from this, whether you're disabled or not disabled. Just practice, practice, practice. As I already said, it'll be tough at first, but as you work at it, as you get good, as you fine-tune what works and doesn't work, you will find success the way I have found success in my dating life. Moving on to my fifth and last point, communication. While living with a disability, there is added complexity. There are challenges that are there that normally wouldn't be there if you weren't in a wheelchair, if you weren't disabled, whether it be a mobility impairment or any sort of disability. You really need to communicate things. A lot of people don't know how to address certain topics, certain issues while dealing with someone that's in a wheelchair. So you need to be upfront and talk about certain things. A very good quote to remember is, communication works for those who work at it. And I think that's really relevant here. You need to work on certain areas where people might be uncomfortable. People might be nervous to ask about certain things. Maybe certain aspects of intimacy, they just don't know how to go about it. And that's where it's important to take a leadership role and communicate certain things and certain obstacles that are there while living with a disability that normally wouldn't be there if you were not disabled and you're able-bodied. So just to wrap it up, communication is super, super important. So tying all my 5 points together, let me just reiterate what we talked about in this video. Number one, we talked about owning your disability, being self-deprecating, using humor, not being insecure. Number two, being confident, which equals being attractive and being fun. Nothing is more attractive, again, than being confident in who you are as a person. Number three, going for it and shooting your shot. This is super important. Just not being afraid and putting yourself out there. Who knows, maybe your crush might say yes to you. You never know unless you ask. Number four, it takes practice. Like anything, just talk to people around you, whether men, women, whoever it may be. Just practice, practice, practice. Everyone wants to talk to someone that's fun to talk to. Surprise yourself. I'm sure you will. The way I surprised myself back when I was insecure and nervous with these sorts of things. And my last and final point, communication. Being disabled definitely adds extra layers of complexity and difficulty that otherwise wouldn't be there. And that's why it's super important with sensitive, sore issues and not being afraid to talk about them. A lot of times people that are able-bodied just don't know what to ask, don't know what to say. So it's up to you to communicate and be clear with what needs to be done with certain matters. I have faith in you that you can do it, that you can talk, be confident, and just put yourself out there in the field. Having a successful dating and love life doesn't just start here. It needs to start with a strong foundation. And that's why I created Maximus Moves, with the goal of improving mind, body, and soul. Maximus Moves is a health and fitness coaching program for individuals living with physical limitations. If you're interested and want to find out more, book a one-on-one call with me. Link is in the description below. If you want to join my private Facebook group for other like-minded individuals who are motivated to live a happy, healthy life despite limitations, link is also in the description. Hope to see you there. So please like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until then, It's your boy, Max, over and out.